The word corruption is usually defined as moral perversion. If a company throws waste into a hole in the ground to save money, most people view this as corrupt behavior. On a more subtle level, if a franchise superstore moves into a small town and forces small family-owned businesses to shut down because they cannot compete, a gray area is created. For what exactly is the superstore doing wrong? Why should they care about small businesses? Yet, even more subtly, when an employee is fired for an immoral reason on the employer's part, people just tend to accept that as the way it is, not seeing the corruption in such an action. Because the fact is, whether it's dumping waste in a hole, having a corporate franchise, or immoral termination, the motive is the same. Profit. They are all different degrees of the same mechanism that puts the well-being of people second next to making money. Therefore, corruption is not a byproduct of money. It is the very foundation. And while most people acknowledge this on one level or another, most people remain naive as to the broad ramifications to having such a selfish mechanism as the guiding mentality of a martial arts school. The contradiction of this fact is staggering, for it means that long-lasting quality and morality will never honestly go into a franchise martial arts school or corporation. It simply goes against the nature of the franchise structure. Therefore, it is impossible to expect franchise business owners in the martial arts to behave in truly ethical and decent ways when money is involved. Okay, I don't expect anybody who watches this documentary to take my word as cold hard fact. Therefore, we're going to have a series of testimonies from people who have actually gone to franchise martial arts schools, and we also have this. And this is a sales manual from a large martial arts franchise school. The book contains dozens of scripted and rehearsed conversations, which the employees are forced to study vigorously for hours a week. These rehearsed conversations can contain 2 to 5 different variations of the same conversation. Each variation is designed to manipulate the average person into coming into the school through an enthusiastic style of psychological manipulation. In addition, this book contains manipulative responses to dozens of pre-thought-out questions that could be asked by prospects. The average person bases their logic off of what they like, and this is normal. Hundreds of franchise students will continue to make excuses for their school and deny the evidence, even after seeing this documentary. They will do this for the same reason that most people make excuses, because they want to hold on to the belief that their school is something that it is not. However, denial doesn't change the evidence that if you go to a franchise school, you will not be taught by martial artists. In reality, you will be taught by salesmen and saleswomen, most of them teenage dilettantes that will interact with students in a dishonest manner, all for the sake of $1 for brand name recognition. I urge you, as a former employee of these establishments, don't be fooled by rehearsed statements over the phone. It is a fact that franchise schools generate 80% of their business by relying on phone interviewing and tours of their campus. Look for the signs of a franchise scam, asking you to pay money for an introductory course, and then, after refusing, offering the introductory course for you at no cost. Obvious, overly enthusiastic attitudes. Group classes that seem to be more aerobics than realistic self-defense. Seemingly rehearsed statements, both over the phone and in person. Referring you to a higher-ranking individual. Certificates of participation for children. Oversized facilities. Holiday sales. Banquets. Asking you to compete in yearly tournaments to build up your skills. and most importantly, constantly asking you to sign up for things that involve more money and not respecting the word no when it is given.
Well, when I went to a franchise school, everybody was real arrogant there.
I currently work at a franchise martial arts school, and I have for the past 7 years.
Franchise schools, they cost too much. You don't get what you pay for. So them.
It's pretty much like a cult.
I feel like I had to do what they wanted me to do. It's like I couldn't, it wasn't like freestyle. Everything had to be like choreographed. I don't know, like.
It's kind of like Simon Says.
If you don't act the way they do or do the things they want you to do, they'll just treat you differently.
They'll do anything to get money. It's unreal.
I would say it's very expensive for what you get. You get group sessions when you can make it in and when the times are available. And you get 1 half-hour lesson per week. And within that half hour, you can't really do much or learn much. I mean, it's really kind of a waste. And that's about all you get. And you pay a large amount of money per month, and you sign contracts from 6 months to a year. And you are obligated within that contract, whether you show or not, or your child changes their mind or not, or you can't do it or not able to. They're not very flexible or understanding. You know, you're just doing what they're doing, and you're trying to do it without really a lot of teaching behind it, except for that half-hour get-together once a week. I wouldn't say they're very friendly or too informative. It's pretty much if you want to know something, you ask. They don't really volunteer a lot of information. No history, no really anything about martial arts or about why or, you know, how it's going to benefit you except, you know, just for show. I mean, real world, I wouldn't say, from my experiences, it doesn't prepare you at all. I mean, from what I did there, if I, say, was confronted in the real world, I would probably freeze or not even remember half of it. Because you just don't spend enough time there unless you want to spend a real lot of money. And if you ask a question, they refer you to DVDs, videos, books, and all these other things that are extremely expensive. And instead of just taking the time to explain to you, because that's why you're there and they're supposed to know, they refer you to something else. And this is with paying a lot to be there.
My name is I've been working at for about 6 years. I thought that it would help me with my self-esteem problems, but in the end they were just using me and taking advantage of me. And I'm stuck in a place that I don't want to be in. They constantly take advantage of my good nature. They make me feel that if I leave, then I'm some kind of quitter. They don't even care. My boss is one of the most arrogant people I've ever met in my life. He's petty, selfish, and the only thing he's a master of is controlling people. The school I work at has taken the mentality of Starbucks and has thrown it into the martial arts. The only thing that they care about is money. I believe if you go to a martial arts franchise school because of self-esteem problems, I believe that you'll leave with even more self-esteem problems than you had when you came. They don't give a about you, but they're so good at pretending that they do. But they don't. And I know this because I work there. It's all about the money.
Bye.